Hello again, people. Welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. Got another property down in Luna County in the southern part of the state. This one very close to Deming, very close to Las Cruces as well. And with easy access to the 10, it should be easy to get back and forth between those two places, should you so desire. So let's chat about this one. This is reference number LNNM-0008E, like Echo, 2 acres in Luna County, Deming Ranchettes subdivision, right outside of Deming. This 2 acres is a combination of 4 adjacent half-acre lots, by the way. And, of course, this 2 acres is priced, as you saw up top, at $1,900. So, let's pull this up on Google Maps. As with all of our listing pages down here, there's GPS coordinates. You click them, and boom, up comes the Google Maps. So, this 2 acre sits sandwiched between Lemita Road and Camion Road. Camion? I'm going to go with Camion on this one, guys. Anyway, sandwiched between these 2 roads right here. So you've got road access on both sides. Should be noted, plat map overlay does not exist in this subdivision on Google. So if you come back here to our gallery down here, we've got a sort of Google Earth overlay of the exact sort of size, shape, and location of this particular piece of real estate. As noted, road access on both these 2 roads. Anywho, I'm going to pull back a little bit. We're going to talk about where this is in relation to Deming and Las Cruces, etc. It should be noted, however, that we pull back just a little bit. You're going to see there's the Arroyo Seco Raceway right across the street. So I'm going to talk about that in a bit. We'll get back to that. I'm not going to ignore it. But yes, there is a giant racetrack across from the property. Anywho, let's pull back. All right. So as I have noted in countless Deming Ranchettes videos here, Deming Ranchettes is a massive subdivision, goes pretty much all the way from the 10 all throughout this area down to here, about halfway down the Goose Egg on the east side, and covers this whole portion right here. So it's a completely massive subdivision. This lot seems to be in what would be the most northeasterly part of the sub. So it's in the northern section. You're pretty close to Deming. That being said, if we measure distance, what you're going to see is you're about 17 miles, something like that, 18 miles outside of Deming. Of course, you can take the 549. You're pretty close over here to the 549. It gets you in town pretty quickly. 549 runs the east-west part of the northern part of the subdivision. Gets you there pretty quick. But, guys, look at this. Check this out. You are also very close. Easy access right here to the 10. Hop on the 10, and that 20-minute drive probably gets cut in about half to get into nearby Deming. It should be noted, Deming is not only the county seat, but it's also sort of the population center of this region. You've got the Municipal Airport up here. You've got the Walmart Supercenter. Schools, churches, hospitals, dining and nightlife, I'm sure, and whatever you can't find in nearby Deming, you should be able to find in nearby, Las Cruces, which is actually also pretty close. As you're in the northeasternmost part of the sub, right-click measure distance, that means that you are also closest to Las Cruces, which is roughly about 38 miles. Maybe in highway driving, that's like 20, 25 minutes, something like that. So if you work in Las Cruces, you're looking for a more affordable piece of real estate, a place that you can own your own land and, set up a trailer with a permanent foundation, something like that, or just a place where, property values are not as high as they are in Las Cruces, you should check this out. This is a good alternative, just right outside the city, and going to have a lot of privacy out here in this region. You can see that there's some homes sprinkled along out here. That's the case with most all of the subdivision houses sprinkled all throughout the region. But also a good amount of space to yourself. 2 acres, by the way, should be noted. Pretty much all the landowners out here have basically 1 acre of land. So having twice as much is either going to give you a bigger piece of property for yourself, number one. Number two, you live here, mom and dad live on the second lot, or the kids live on the second lot, what have you. Or just buy 2 of them and resell 1 and make a profit off it. Now, I was talking about the raceway earlier. When my photographer was out here, he reported no noise. He reported no activity at this racetrack. That being said, we have their website linked up here on the listing page, way up top. If you want to click on this, it'll take you to their page, and you can read more about what goes on out there. If this is a piece of property you're looking at buying as an investment property, probably not going to make a lick of difference to you. If, however, you're looking as a place that you want to build, we've got a lot of properties in Deming Ranchettes. This is the only one in close proximity to a raceway. This is something you're looking at if you're never going to be on a racetrack in your life and you're a little worried about this. We'd encourage you to go out there, scout it in advance, make sure there's not too much noise, make sure it doesn't bother you too much. Again, my understanding is that there's not. By the way, this whole subdivision is residential. I'm not entirely sure how something like this exists out there. I'm guessing they got rezoned. I guess they lobbied the county and petitioned to be rezoned as commercial or something, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's possible you could do the same. I don't think they'd have 2 acres of commercial space right here, but you never know. Anyway, let's go down to the photo gallery, take a look at what this property looks like. As with all of our properties, we get photos taken from the land itself, so you can get a good feeling of exactly what this property is like. Out here along Limiter, you can see the power lines that are running through the area. Also the roads, like pretty much all the roads in the Deming Ranchettes subdivision, easily navigated by any vehicle type. You're not going to have difficulty getting up and down these things if you've got a big car or a small car. And right here, you can see the fencing that separates the raceway from Limiter. So, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, there's more of that. It should be noted, one of the nice things about this subdivision, of course, besides the easy access and the power that's fairly ubiquitous, is that these are flat lots. These are very easy to build on type of lots. Like we were discussing earlier, if you want to take not an RV, a trailer out here, put down a cement foundation, it's likely not going to be hard to grade or landscape this land, make it, something that you can start building on. It's not the kind of thing where it's going to take you, a lot of time and a lot of money to get it to a place where it's even livable. I mean, as you can see from this, it's very easy to build on. You've also got these really nice views in the back of the Florida mountains. Of course, you have that pretty much throughout the entirety of the subdivision because it surrounds the Florida mountains. But you also have easy access to the Rockhound State Park if you're into minerals, if you're into sort of rock hunting, or just hiking, camping, and whatnot. Rockhound's a nice resource for that sort of thing. Blah, blah, blah. And here you can see just sort of the I-10 in the background, very close to the property. But again, as my photographer reported, not too much noise emanating from the highway. FYI. Anyway, guys, so we got a bunch of photos down here. Take a look at these. I'd also encourage you, we got a drone video down here. It's not property specific, but it's from the entirety of the subdivision, so it'll give you a good sense of what it's like out there, property, terrain, surroundings, etc. Just a couple notes I want to point out to you guys, some things that might be helpful if you're looking at this property and you're thinking about buying it. For your research, we've got up here the CCRs. Click on this. It's going to bring up the covenants and restrictions that govern this specific unit of Deming Ranchettes. I should just mention this unit is Unit 103. Most of the covenants and restrictions out there are fairly uniform throughout all of the roughly 200 units. So these covenants are largely redundant no matter which of the Deming Ranchettes listings you look at. The part that's most relevant, particularly if you're going to build out here, are the single-family dwelling section, Section 5. This whole thing right here, most of these are fairly obvious rules, things about noise and disposing of trash, things like that. You will notice point number 3 has that no dwelling should be under 600 square feet. They have a 600 square foot minimum. So it could be a good place for a tiny home. If that's your definition of tiny, you'll be able to build that out there. Of course, also in the table up here, we have some other helpful links, such as to the Planning and Zoning Office. If you're going to build a single-family residence, you're not going to have any problem doing that in any part of New Mexico, or I'm sure any part of America. That being said, if you have plans for an unconventional structure, quote-unquote unconventional, tiny home, shipping container home, a yurt, things like that, contact the county, talk to them, make sure it's something you could do, make sure you know what permits you need to do, that sort of thing. We've also got links to the local utility company, PNM. As noted, power is very close by to this property, so it's likely not difficult to get hooked up to the grid. That being said, you may want to reach out to them first, talk to them about what sort of expenses are involved in that, what sort of cost. That, of course, clicking that link will bring up their website, and you can direct those questions to them. And then, of course, we've got the Office of the New Mexico State Engineer. These are the people who do all the permitting for residential wells in the state. They can talk to you more about the cost of that. Additionally, when you see residences in a place like this, you can pretty much assume that the water table is fairly accessible. I'm working off the assumption that most of these people, if they're not using holding tanks, they're probably using wells. Most of them are probably using wells. Call a well driller in the local area, somebody like Elbrock, and they can probably talk to you about water table out there, how far you have to drill, what the cost per foot is of drilling, and what an average well might come to on a property like this. FYI. Anyway, so we have all those links for you guys, help you better do research on the property. If you come to like this, if you come to want to buy this, it's very easy to do. Just come up here, click the Buy Now button. It'll take you to secure checkout. We're going to ask you a couple questions. What name or names do you want on the deed? What's the tax address? Where's the Luna County going to send the tax bill? You click the terms of service, agree to these, click next, and on the very last page, we'll ask you for some credit or debit card information. You enter that in, and you have purchased the property. Once you do that, as far as we're concerned, you own it. That being said, there's a little bit of process here where we have to deed it into your name. The county has to record it, and then they have to send you the recorded copy of that deed. So from start to finish, it's about 3 weeks before that's in your hands. That being said, it's a fairly easy process. Within 24 hours, we're going to contact you. We're going to make sure you've got an email with a copy of the new deed so you can approve it. Make sure we're spelling your name right, the name of your spouse, your sibling, your children's names, so on and so forth, who's ever on that deed. Once you tell us it's good, everything's copacetic, we will sign, notarize, and mail off to the county to be recorded. County records, then they forward on to you. So again, start to finish about 3 weeks before you got that document in your hands. But once you give us money, as far as we are concerned, you are the new owner. Go out there, knock yourselves out, start camping, start building, do whatever you like. Anyway, with all that said, guys, thanks for watching the video. And if you have any questions, leave a comment here on the YouTube. Shoot us an email, support@hemingwayland.com, or give us a call, 702-919-7170. We'd love to chat with you. All right, guys, thanks for watching.